Hi everybody, Even Steven here. So I've been doing some inking using distress oxide inks and distress spray stains. And so I thought I'd take you all along with me and show you what I do. This is just a splat box I made to protect, well, everything. This stuff makes a mess and I wear gloves because if I didn't, my hands and my fingers would be permanently stained all the time. So I just always wear gloves now. So never mind the Scotch tape, I made the box myself, but this box works pretty well actually. So anyways, the colors I'm going to be using for this craft tag that I picked up, that's what I'm going to be spraying on right now. Uh, Picked raspberry, nice pink, beautiful shade of pink. Wilted violet, these are both distress oxide. Purple, kind of a regular purple I guess. And then just to mix it up, I'm using a distress spray stain in Salty Ocean Blue. So sometimes I like to mix the stains and the oxides together. Now the difference between an oxide and a spray stain is that the oxides contain a combination of dye and pigment, and the stains are just dye. And so pigments, you got to shake them up. They have a ball in them to mix the pigment and the dye together. So it gets a nice even coat. And these spray on and dry a little more opaque, the oxides do. They're both water reactive, hence my distress spray bottle. So I'm going to be spritzing it with water. And it provides some neat effects when you do. This oxidizes when you spray it with water, so it kind of turns a creamy-ish color. And you can create water droplet effects too, even with just the spray stains together. But mixing both of them together can be kind of fun too. So this I've discovered is a lot of fun, but you just kind of, well, I watch Tim Holtz, I watch his demonstrations a lot to learn how to do this, and I'm definitely not good at it, but I have a lot of fun doing it. But like he says a lot, you just kind of get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So you just have fun doing it and you don't worry so much about the result a whole lot. There is some technique involved to kind of get the results that you want, but I find I get results that I want more when I don't worry about so much what I'm doing, um, while keeping a few basic tips in mind. So I'm just shaking these up to mix the pigment and the dye together. And I shake them side to side because otherwise, as you can see, it can kind of like leak out the top. So if you get these, I always keep a wet washcloth, and this I use just for the purpose. As you can tell, it's well used. So shaking these up side to side, because if you shake them up and down like that, the leak or the ink can start to leak out the top of the bottle, I've noticed. So I shake them side to side. It takes a little longer. These you don't really have to shake up at all. They're already like mixed. So if I were to spray just directly on dry, it would just give like a shotgun splatter and it would soak straight in. So I always like to soak just a couple of sprays. That way the inks kind of blend together more. Now, since I'm working with a craft cardstock, craft is recycled paper and it's extremely porous, so I'm going to spray it down a little more. And when you spray it, it likes to kind of bend. So bend it a little more. So now I'll just start spraying. No real rhyme or reason to the way I'm doing it. I'm just kind of spraying and seeing what I get. Another thing I use is a heat tool. Now, it'll heat faster if I were to pick it up and hold it at a 45-degree angle, but I don't want to pick it up. I don't want the colors to all blend together and make mud quite yet. I try to avoid that if I can. As you can see, the colors are kind of blending together, and I'm just kind of blotting the edge here with a paper towel. You get kind of a buildup on the sides. So once it starts drying, then I can kind of dump it off the edge there. Now I can pick it up and start drying it a little bit. Dump it off the sides a little bit there. So now I'm going to hold it at a 45-degree angle while I'm picking it up. And it dries a lot faster. And I'm kind of just lightly going over it in a side-to-side motion. If I had like a Ranger's heat tool that disperses the heat instead of an embossing gun, this would go a lot faster, but I don't have one, so this is what I got. There, it's mostly dry. Gonna bend it back into shape a little bit there. Now, wet on dry layers. So now that I've dried it, I can layer a little bit of pink on top of the blue here, just to kind of break it up and add some interest to it. So I'm just going to spray right on. This pink likes to spray wide for some reason, I don't know why. And then I like to add just a layer like that and then dry it again. Just to break up that blue a little bit. And it turns more of a purple. That's okay. Just drying up a little last bit here. That's good. Now, what do I want to do now? I think I'll add some droplets. So wipe off my hands really quick. Now I can use the sprayer to dribble droplets, but I also like to use my splatter brush. So it's just this brush with long, thick plastic bristles, and I'm just going to dip it in straight water because this stuff is water reactive, and then I just kind of like strum like a guitar, and it splatters water droplets on it. Provides kind of a neat effect, it gives it some depth. So that's good. Now the longer you let it sit without air drying it, the more it kind of does neat things. But that'll take forever. So go back in with the embossing gun. And as you can see, it's forming these little ringlets, which are pretty cool. Adds just some visual interest, kind of breaks things up a little bit. Adds some depth and dimension. Plus, I think it just looks really neat. Okay, that's good. So I'll show you what I got so far. Yeah, and I could keep going if I wanted to. I could just keep adding layers on layers on layers, and there's different methods you can do too. I could work straight on my craft mat, smush down my oxide pads, spritz it with water, and then kind of go like that. That's another method. I'm not very good at that. I don't like doing it that much, so I don't do it. So this is good enough for me for now, and I like it. I really love this combination of colors, the blue, the salty ocean blue, the wilted violet, lavender, purple, and then the picked raspberry pink. You can pick up little bits of that there. And plus these neat little ringlets. And so I got this pretty tag. Anyways, that's it. Uh, Thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. And I will see everybody in the next video. Bye.